Today we're lucky enough to talk to New Zealand's most active angel investment group, the Flying Kiwi Angels. Real stories, real implementation, real tactics that have worked for these entrepreneurs. Introducing Rudy Bublitz, Tim Galston and Uli Wille. You're going to learn from people who've been there, done that, and they're going to share the process of how you can implement it in your business.
And maybe just to give some background between a venture capital company and a business angel. So venture capitalists, they don't invest their own money. It's usually a fund that they raise, and there's a certain time until they have to disinvest. With the angels, it's different. We invest our own money, and that's why we really get actively involved, support the founders, and help to make them fly. When you speak to an angel group, it's probably realistic to raise something in between 500,000 and 1.5 million. While if you're further down the road and you look for 3 to 5 million or even more than that, you want to speak to a venture capital group. In terms of time frame, we like to get in touch as early as possible with the companies, just to get an idea of the business model, of the team, which is important, and keep in touch and see if they're actually delivering what they promise. And if that's the case, and if the management team is coachable and they make good progress, we'll try to find a champion within our group who's taking a closer look in the company to make them ready for a pitch. And if that's the case, then the process can be quite quick. So from pitch night to investment can take maybe 3 to 4 months.
So, I mean, one of the things that the champion angel investor would do also is help the founder team determine when is the best time, when is the right time, when have we got the right metrics in place, the right number of customers, the right kind of validation to go in front of the group. Because the group who've never seen this business, don't know the founders, will have a higher threshold, and the champion will want to convince the rest of the group that this is a good idea and this business should proceed to due diligence. So the champion has got an interest to make it work. There's no point taking them too early or too late, just at the right time, and therefore that relationship is really important. Engaging with your investors early is really best, and it's not in our interest to try and get an advantage over the founder, because we rely on the founder to actually bring home the bacon. They have to run the business, and they have to run the business for several years before there's any return. So if that's the case and it needs multiple rounds of investment properly, then our strategy is quite clear to work with the founders to make it a success. And engaging early when you haven't got all the answers is not a bad thing. It can help engage with the angel investors to help find the answers, and guess what? That will start buying them into the business, which will make them an ally for your business.
Part of that process is getting them ready, and a champion not only is getting them ready as a business, but getting them ready as to be able to pitch, because you're going to be pitching to quite sophisticated investors, and what they're trying to do is find the holes in it. Is this commercial? Can we scale it? How scalable is it? Can we make money out of it? What's the return? Who's the customer? Now with the champion and all of this, once again, this is all done because they believe in the team, the product, the service, whatever it may be. We don't take fees. That's not what we're about. It's about getting and helping that founder and his team get to a different place. So the sooner we can work with them, get them ready, and then they can come in and then pitch that to the greater FKA team, then we can speed that whole process and that commercialisation up, and we set up for a better success at the end.
Another point why to get in touch early is what we see is that founders are sometimes not really focused, so they have a lot of projects going on, and they don't really know what their core product or core service is, and we help them to focus. So that's why it totally makes sense to get in touch early and get some feedback. What also happens is that quite a few founders are in love with their product, but they forget to test the market, and they develop, invest a lot of money, sometimes up to $500,000 of their own money, and only after to recognize there might not be a market for it. So in order to avoid this, getting in touch with an angel group early on makes total sense.
And another really good point of the validation, it's not just the market validation, it's finding out how are they going to monetize it. Everyone loves it. Great. What do they love about it? Great. Are they going to pay? Oh, how much are they going to pay? What is that pricing model? What is that? How are you going to get revenue from that product or that idea? And it sounds very obvious, but they've been so focused on the idea and creating their innovative solution for whatever it may be, that they haven't really worked out the monetization or how to actually make money from that.
There's another thing that we often do when we engage with founders, and that is encourage them to build a team. All too often we find founders are solo founders that are too precious about their idea, don't want to tell anybody because it's too good to be true, and that they do not understand that they need a team to be successful in the long run. For us as investors, it's much more attractive to have a strong, solid team to invest in. And again, these messages are much easier to take when you're at the beginning of the journey rather than thinking of bringing in co-founders a year or 2 years down the track. So the sooner we can instill that and get that message through to them, the easier it is for them to implement that and act upon it.